Yes, people, welcome back to Arsenal with Ash, here to preview for the final time this season an Arsenal game, and it's the Champions League final. Our first time here since this season, the 05-06 season. It's the first time we're in the Champions League final since 20 years, but we need to make sure that this time the outcome is different. Let me tell you something. That Champions League final 20 years ago, I was 11 years old. I cried that day, man. The pain. We went 1-0 up. We went into that game with such an unbelievable defensive record. Yeah, similarly to this season. It was a team that was coming towards the end of its cycle. The invincible team with a couple of changes here and there, and it was just the final piece of the puzzle that was missing, the Champions League. And we just left Highbury for the final time. We'd played our last game at Highbury, and it started so well. We got off to a great start with Sol Campbell headering it in, getting us a 1-0 lead. We're up against a proper Barcelona team. I'm talking Ronaldinho, I'm talking Samuel Eto'o, Puyol, all these man, crazy. But we're 1-0 up, and then the moment where Jens Lehmann gets sent off, there was a decision to make. They could have given the goal, given Lehmann a yellow card, or was it a penalty? I can't remember exactly. It's a bit of a blur. Not something I want to watch back. But the referee decided to send Lehmann off, and for the rest of the game we were playing with 10 men, but we were fighting. All the way up until, what was it, maybe the 78th minute or something like that, and they scored two late goals, Belletti and Eto'o. Almunia couldn't do better with both the goals, and unfortunately we lose that game, and that was pain. However, this year, we're walking into that final as the champions of England. The champions of England. We've been on a journey with an unbelievable manager, by the way. Arteta is unbelievable. He has transformed this club to the point where we're expecting to win big trophies. He's transformed us. We were in the mud, and we have to give him so much credit for where he's taken us. From where we were, and people talk about the money spent and all of this, but in this day and age you have to spend. If you look at the time period from when he came in to now, and the other big clubs have spent more than us, apart from maybe Liverpool, everyone's spent. A lot of people like to look at the individual managers rather than the actual club itself, and in that time period we've just been doing what the others have been doing, if not less. So for us to be in this position is a massive testament to him. And our journey in the Champions League has been linear. It's been really good. Our first season, we got to the quarterfinals, narrowly lost out to Bayern Munich by a 1-goal margin. Last season, semi-finals, lost out to PSG. I think it was a 2-goal margin in the end. And this year we're in the final, up against PSG again. And it's time to get revenge. It's time to get revenge, because last season was painful, man. We went into that tie confident. We'd just knocked out Real Madrid. We'd already beaten PSG last year as well in the league phase, but they had a resurgence in the second half of the season, and they caught us. They definitely caught us. And that first leg, there's so many regrets. There's regrets about even Partey getting a yellow card at the Bernabeu to make him miss that first leg. The injuries we had Marino was our number 9. Who even played in that game? Was it Jorginho and Declan Rice? I can't even remember. But we didn't have Gabriel in that team. There's so many regrets, and then we missed chances after chance after chance. They scored in the opening couple of minutes of the first leg as well, and then the second leg we're just chasing the game, and we started excellently. Donnarumma had a once in a lifetime game, and we unfortunately went out. But this time on, we're going into game with pretty much a fully fit squad. Even Jurriën Timber is looking like he could make it. Marino's back. We're at full strength. Obviously, like I said, the Timber one is a doubt. They've got doubts as well with Hakimi and Dembele. I have no doubt they're going to make the game, but whether they're fully fit's another thing. But yeah, we can go into the game confident, especially off of the back of last season, how we performed in that tie. And yeah, ultimately we're up against an absolute wonderful team. There's no doubt about it. PSG are a joke, and out of all the teams left in the knockout phase that we could have played in the final, they're the ones I wouldn't have wanted, if I'm being completely honest. However, they have their vulnerabilities. They are vulnerable defensively. You can create loads of chances against them. We saw Bayern Munich do it. We saw even Liverpool do it. We saw Chelsea do it. They are physically aren't the strongest team at all. They're quite small in terms of the outfield players, and also from set pieces we can hurt them. And in all of these areas we excel. However, their attacking fluidity is something I don't even think I've seen before, even from Pep's Barca. Their fluidity is ridiculous. You can have Kvaratskhelia finding himself in the false nine position, Dembele on the left, Doué on the left, like Vitinha could be in the last line. It could be Fabian Ruiz. It's a joke, the amount of fluidity they have. And then the fullbacks, you have Hakimi ended up in left wing positions at times. Nuno Mendes on the top. Like, it's just a joke how they operate. And there's so many danger men. The biggest one for me is Kvaratskhelia. I think he is an unbelievable footballer. I genuinely think he might be the best footballer in the world, in terms of pure ability. And that's the one area of the pitch where we've got the doubt injury-wise. We've obviously got no Ben White because he's done his MCL. Timber's a massive doubt. He hasn't played for the last couple of months. And yes, he's taken part in first-team training now. But do you throw him into a game like this, of this magnitude, after 2 months out, up against what I just said? I don't know. I've been saying for weeks, if he's fit, he has to play because he's the only one that can stop him. But it's a risk, and Mosquera might just have to rise. He might just have to rise. But we'll get into the predicted 11 later on. But yeah, obviously PSG, they've won the league again. They've walked the league again. Most of their players that are going to start that game have played barely 10 games in the league. So all their eggs are in the Champions League, understandably, because their league isn't that competitive. They win it all the time, pretty much. And to go back to back in the Champions League, since it's been called the Champions League, only Real Madrid have done it. So they're looking to make history. Enrique is looking to put himself amongst the absolute legends of the game in terms of managers. And they're going to be hungry for it, because they've tasted it last season, and I'm sure that I'm sure it was sweet. I'm sure it was sweet. So yeah, it's going to be an unbelievable tough game. Everyone pretty much is expecting us to lose, with PSG being the juggernaut that they are at the moment. But I honestly think if Arteta gets his game plan right and the players execute, we can definitely hurt them. So yeah, we have to be on the front foot. We can't just drop into a defensive shape, because they've got too many rotations for us to be able to manage that, in my opinion. And I don't think we will just sit back. I think we will take the game to them. But in terms of aggression and physicality, we have to be pouncing on those second balls. We have to take shots. The keeper is a worry for them. He's not Donnarumma in terms of shot stopping. And even from set pieces, we can absolutely kill them. So if we can get on the front foot and isolate them 1v1 in the wide areas as well, especially on Saka against Nuno Mendes, because Nuno Mendes is a top left back, the best in the world. But that's mainly because of his attributes going forward. But actually defending, we saw Elise do it. We seen Saka do it last season. He can be cooked. So if we can get Saka into those positions and even overload that right side with the likes of Kai Havertz, maybe Odegaard, whoever's out on that side, we can cause them problems. And in midfield, we can dominate them physically. I'm looking at Declan Rice. I'm even looking at a Miles Lewis-Skelly. Eze maybe can pop up in areas and cause them problems. And we just have to be ruthless. We have to be ruthless. I don't want the occasion to get to us and it pass us by, because that's my worry about us in finals. It happened in the Carabao Cup final. We absolutely froze. And there's a possibility this can happen again. However, I do think us winning the league has taken so much pressure off of the players and the managers and the staff and the fans that we can go into this game not as a free hit, because it's not a free hit. This is the Champions League final. We've never won it before. We want to win it. So it's not a free hit. But the fact that we've got a big trophy over the line now, and as a squad, I think mentality-wise, it will give us so much of a push to go on and win that game and lift that European Cup. And I'm telling you now, if you don't think we're unbearable now, if we go on and win that Champions League, Lord God, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. But like I said, it's going to be a tough game, but it's 90 minutes of football. Anything can happen. And I truly believe we've got the attributes to hurt them and the manager to come up with a game plan to do the job. So, yeah, man, I'm quietly confident, but if we were to lose that game, I wouldn't be surprised, is what I would say. But I really think the boys are gonna do it, man. It just feels like the time. It's a coming of age for this team. So to go and win the Premier League and the Champions League, it would be the club's best ever season. Are you hearing that? That is ultimate, instant, legendary status for each and every one of those players. Just imagine that. You bring the club their first Champions League ever, their first Premier League in 22 years in one season. Perfect. It's just perfect. So, yeah, let's get on to the predicted lineup. In goal, it has to be David Raya. Best goalkeeper in the world for me. There's nothing more to say. Right back, as I've mentioned, is where the conundrum is. All the way up leading to this game, I've said that Jurriën Timber has to start. He has to start. However, I'm obviously not behind the scenes. I don't know how sharp he is and all of this stuff. But when I tell you Kvaratskhelia, yeah, and it might not even be him. It could be Doué. It could be Dembele. Each and every one of them are so sharp. You cannot have a player that is not ready. That is not ready at it physically. So if Timber's not even an ounce off it, it's just gonna have to be Mosquera. And you know what we can do? We can let Mosquera start the game. Be aggressive. He done it. We done it away to Man City as well. Be aggressive. I don't know, but I doubt the referee's going to want to hand out yellow cards very quickly. So if he can be aggressive, ruffle their feathers a bit, be sharp off the mark. He's got a good acceleration in Mosquera. He's physically imposing as well, and he'll have Saliba next to him covering him. And I believe Declan Rice might be operating quite in that zone as well. I think I'm okay with Mosquera starting. And then if he does get booked, or if he is getting cooked, bring Timber on, and what have you got to lose? So yeah, I'm more leaning now more onto the sensible option of playing Mosquera. Saliba and Gabriel, of course, at centre back, and at left back, I would go with Calafiori to start, just to offer that dynamism. Physically, he's imposing as well. He can get cooked, he can get cooked, but he can cause them problems going the other way, drifting into that midfield, giving us an extra option and an extra bit of physicality to dominate them as well, and also set pieces. All of that sort of stuff is unpredictability to pop up in areas unknown, and his finishing ability as well. We need players that can make the difference. So I'd start Calafiori, and then later on in the game, if we've got a lead, or if we need to shore up defensively, can bring Hincapié on. And then in midfield, Arteta's got more big decisions to make. Do you go with, Rice obviously starts, but do you go next to him? Do you put Zubimendi there, or do you go Miles Lewis-Skelly? Zubimendi's played 80% of the season. He played every single game in the Premier League in his first season of football. He tailed off towards the end physically, and probably mentally as well. Miles came into the team at the back end of the season, and he's come in and got us over the line pretty much. He's 19 though. It's a tough one. It is a tough one, but I would go Miles. I just think the ability to beat your man 1v1 in the central areas opens up the game, taking risks, all of that sort of stuff. He's strong physically. He can switch on defensively as well. I think he'll be the better option. There's another conundrum of, do you go Odegaard, Rice, Eze? I wouldn't go that. I think that's too attacking. I think Miles and Declan, they can complement each other perfectly, and that's a really good balance. So that's how I'd start. And then I would actually play Eze in front of them. I think Arteta might go Odegaard, but I think I go Eze. I'm not too sure yet. I don't think I'll be mad if it's Odegaard there, but if Odegaard's there, I need Eze on the left. However, Hakimi get bombing it's a concern. So I don't know. I think Arteta could possibly go Odegaard and keep Eze on the bench as some stardust off the bench if needed. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would put Eze in the 10 personally with Rice and Skelly behind him. And then on the left-hand side, I'd go Trossard. If that is the case, I'd go Trossard. And I think Arteta will play Trossard anyway. I think Trossard is definitely more switched on defensively than Eze. He can also produce moments of magic. Let's not count that out. Trossard can do that. Martinelli would be a decent option as well. He's been good in the Champions League. He's quick as well, can track Hakimi and cause him problems going the other way. But I just think Trossard's in really good form. So you go Trossard. And on the right-hand side, no brainer, it has to be Saka, and we need Saka to be at his sharpest. He has to be, just rise for this one game, Bukayo, please. And then in the number 9, there's another decision to make. Do you go Victor Gyökeres, who physically will cause Marquinhos and Pacho problems? He'll stretch the game, he'll play off their shoulder, drag them into areas they might not want to go into. Or do you go Kai Havertz, who's more of a false 9, who also can be physically imposing and win the ball? And it's the option we went for away to City in a big game, and it will be a similar-ish type of game in terms of the spaces he will operate in, and he played really well in that game. He can cause defences problems because they can't really mark him, centre-backs. He'll drag them out into positions that they don't want to be, and that will create space beyond. So I think Arteta will go Havertz, and I possibly would go Havertz as well. We need someone that can hold up the ball a lot better. Yes, Gyökeres can be a finisher, but I think later in the game he may be needed in terms of his work rate off the bench, and also if the spaces open up towards later in the game. So I think it will be Havertz, and I'm not mad at that as well. So yeah, man, that's my team for the Champions League final, but it's a squad game anyway, man, because off the bench we'll have options. We'll have the likes of Martinelli, Jesus, Gyökeres, Madueke, Max Dowman even, Zubimendi, Norga, all these players off the bench, in Capier, Timber hopefully. So if it's not working, we can change it up. So yeah, this is it. This is the 25-26 season, all wrapped up. Champions League final, Budapest. Go and make yourself legends of this club. Absolute icons. And yeah, bring it home, boys. So I'm going to predict a 2-1 Arsenal win. I'm going to go with Bukayo to get a goal. And I'm going to go with Big Gabby to get a goal from a set piece. 2-1 to the Arsenal. Champions League final. European champions. It just sounds right. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And yeah, man. Whatever happens, we'll be at that parade on Sunday and we will enjoy. So yeah, peace.